presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Thanks for joining us here today in Charlotte, North Carolina for the final round of the Wells Fargo Championship. Frank, what do we have out here today?
Well, if history has a chance of repeating itself, remember those great closing rounds by Rory Mcilroy, that 62, that was one of the best rounds ever shot that year back in 2010. And, of course, that playoff, too. Ricky Fowler back in 2012. We actually beat out then world number one Rory Mcilroy with that stunning drive down the finishing hole and brilliant wedge to a tight flag. This golf course, it can give it, it can take it away. But for us, from where we're sitting, Rich, we'll enjoy the view today.
No doubt about it. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Getting set now over the putt. And with that birdie, moving into the top 5 on the leaderboard.
And we're starting to notice the name.
Frank, a nice mix of opening holes here at Quail Hollow in the Wells Fargo Championship. Pretty short par 3 here at the second.
180-yard shot. We'll play more like 175 for the half a club downhill. There's much more green on that right side. If you're not too sure what club to hit, then you should stay away from that left side. And it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back? Second shot.
Starting to put it together right now, Frank.
Enjoying that trio at the top.
Frank, here at the third, players facing a challenging tee shot.
For a number of reasons, Rich. One, that the hole bends to the left. Two, that the fairway starts to run out. And three, the length of the second shot. You get rewarded the better you hit your tee shot down here.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, how important is club selection?
The best players in the world make the best decisions. They choose the clubs, and the right clubs, more often than anyone else. When the flag is on the front, you'll often see them slightly past the flag. When the flag is at the back, you'll see them often just slightly short of the flag. Choosing the right club is probably one of the hardest things to learn in the game of golf.
Had a birdie here yesterday, in there close. Great opportunity for another one. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today. And that par certainly won't hurt the cause.
There's still some time. Frank, this is a muscular par 4 here at just under 490 yards, the fourth at Quail Hollow. Difficult proposition.
It is, but fortunately that tee shot plays a little downhill. But one of the difficulties with the tee shot is the fairway kicks from right to left. So it needs a good one to keep it on the fairway, and another green that has 3 different levels.
Frank, what are we looking at here on the second shot to the fourth?
Another green with 3 different levels. This time, though, the green runs away a lot from the right towards the left. You cannot afford to miss the green on the right.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey. That was well judged, wasn't it? Frank, in today's modern game where players are hitting it so far, I always feel like one of the more exciting holes is a reachable par 5, and here we are at the 5th, 570 yards.
Yeah, this is reachable providing you hit a good drive. Otherwise, it becomes very awkward on the layup. Sort of often threading the ball out of trees and just trying to find some sort of third shot. So to your point, big advantage with a good tee shot here.
Frank, way offline all day long.
Yeah, this is a head scratcher, really. I've seen him play before. Normally much better than this. This is abnormal, that's for sure.
So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
That will be a great look at birdie. Now a 7-footer. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Good roll, solid. That's a par. Frank, this is where you know that players like Bubba Watson, Dustin Johnson, Rory Mcilroy are playing a different game than guys like me. They step up to this 250-yard par 3 and they might hit a 5-iron. It is a little downhill, but they might be with a middle iron where a lot of us would be with a driver.
Well, you see the advantage of that power on this very hole, not just because of the length they've got to hit it, but the green they're heading into. This green slopes off in both directions, right and left, so you have to land that ball in the middle of the green. So, yeah, it's a big advantage if you can go at this hole with like a 5-iron.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, there's a lot to chew on here as you get to the tee at the 532-yard par 5 7th.
In today's game, 530 plus change you'd think is incredibly short. And look at the trouble in front of you. Water all the way down the right side and around that right side of the green. Bunkers left. This is not for the faint of heart.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. This could be a good one. That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up. Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. And he'll do better this time, it looks like. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a bogey on this hole yesterday. So one shot closer to the lead with that birdie. Frank, I love a drivable par 4. In the modern power game, it really adds an element of excitement. And here we go at the 350-yard par 4/8.
Well, you're definitely going to love this one then, Rich, because it ticks all the boxes here. There's no water in play, just a few bunkers down the left and the one that protects the right side of the green. And you've got a really narrow green, so plenty of reward with minimal risk.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. Trying to make yet another birdie. Looks primed right now.
Anything other than backing up. Very aggressive. That birdie, now in second. I'm loving that balance. Oh, that's fine. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
This will require a good strike of the golf ball. It's a pretty long shot into this par 4 ninth. It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Just 5 feet left. Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Excellent front side. Trying to keep it going here on the second nine.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
And from the fairway for his second shot here.
Off the flight path again.
And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie.
Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep. Makes the green in regulation. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Let's take another look at the leaderboard and Rory Mcilroy, 3 shots behind.
Yeah, close enough really to mount a charge over the next few holes. Whether or not we see that, I think it'll be determined by these next couple of holes.
Frank, that swing looks lively and strong.
Oh, they had to fly 300. It's close to 310.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
That in the hole, tremendous shot. Here we are now at the 12th, and Frank, this is a beautiful but dangerous hole, par 4.
It is in a number of ways. The hole bends gently to the right, which you'd think would favor a nice little fade, but the fairway just seems to shrink up. I've seen this fairway missed by so many good players, and plus it's yardage, 450 odd. You can't really lay back too far, otherwise you've got too long for your second shot.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. Safely on deck.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Oh, I thought he had that.
Just when you think you're going to make birdie. Now, have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
Has this to save par. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Here we are at the par 3, 13th hole. It's 210 yards. What does it take here, Frank?
It's one actually where you'd rather be conservative than aggressive here. And the reason why is this green tends to roll off at the back and the front and the middle there. So just something that pitches more in the central part of the green is really what's required.
Birdie try up next. Shouldn't be a problem here. Putting on a show, this tournament moves to 15 under par. Well, now we come to the really interesting 345-yard par 4 14th. Frank, I'm thinking that if you're leading, you're probably not going to try to drive this and take on the risk with the water on the left. But if you're behind, you have a chance to make up some ground.
Yeah, I have it written in my yardage book, Rich, on this hole. Only good and bad things happen with a driver. Nothing in between.
Well, Frank, this is something we've seen more and more of in recent years, players just on the fringe.
Yeah, it's good to see. It shows he's thinking. You don't just have to grab the lob wedge. And that's it. Hybrid, putt, you name it. Whatever works.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round.
Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Now at the par 5, 15th hole, 577 yards. Frank, you remember what Rory McIlroy did here in 2010, that final round, 62?
I certainly do, Rich. That was an amazing run on the second 9. And holes like this, too. He just stood up here with a driver and just obliterated it down there with a nice draw. Took those bunkers out of play and just set up a mid-iron. Oh, that had some meat behind it.
Now the second shot to the par 5.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact, first and foremost, that you're not going to get clean contacts. You have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hit on the fairway. So if it's a little thin and wispy, chances are it might fly. If it's nestled down, you're going to have to take at least another club.
On the green in regulation.
He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today?
One more birdie, and now tied for the lead.
This is the start of what some say is the toughest finishing stretch on the PGA towards known as the Green Mile. Frank, what makes it so challenging?
Well, this hole in particular, Rich, the dogleg right, it means it plays every inch of it's just over 500 yards. That bunker you can see down the right, 325 yards to carry that. If you can fly the ball that far, at least you can chew off 2/3 of this hole, and that is well required here. Otherwise, it's a long, long second shot. Second shot.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Birdie putt coming up. A par on this hole yesterday.
Good putt.
Frank, the 17th here at Quail Hollow is all you want.
And a bit more, actually. The only advantage the player has, it plays a little bit downhill. But when you look at the lake in front of you, if there's any swirling breeze out there, it just becomes a nightmare trying to choose the right club.
That is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's formality now.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Drops for a birdie. Now to the finishing hole here at Quail Hollow. Frank, what can we expect?
If there was a name for this hole, Rich, it should be called Narrows. The creek that meanders its way down the left side and actually divides that hole into really half the size of what a normal par 4 should be. That makes it hard. The bunker on the right is your bailout area, just over 290 yards to get past that, and then the narrowest green that still sits up against the lake. This is just a brutal finish.
Final approach shot of the day, here at 18. Frank, what's the key?
A nice high shot that just holds from that left side would be perfect. But it's so hard to get the ball all the way back because this second shot is played slightly uphill, nearly 3/4 of a club.
Down, little Sheba, down! Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Yeah. That's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
This is to win the Wells Fargo Championship. Good putt. Frank, year in, year out, the Wells Fargo Championship delivers the excitement and the great champions, and this year, well, didn't disappoint.
No, joining the list of, the Ricky Fowlers, the Rory McIlroys, the J.B. Holmes, Sean O'Haire, Tiger Woods, Furyk, list goes on. These are the best players in the game. So adding your name to that list really is the hallmark of a very, very successful professional golfer.